Shooting Lights Wrestling Report.
Well, this week, WWE, they announced their earnings for the second quarter of 2020. And, man, Vince, they might not know how to make new fans, but they know how to make money. And they blew away expectations for profits. The expectation was $231 million in revenue and about $12 million in profits. Their revenues were down, $223.4 million in revenue. So, that's about $8-9 million short, but $43.8 million in after-tax profit. So almost quadrupled the expectations on profits. Basically, what happened, and that's also without the Saudi Arabia show this quarter. They had one last year in the second quarter, didn't have one this year. They're cost cutting by not having live events and not doing TV tapings on the road. Has just been saving them a ton of money. So that's basically where those profits are coming in, is just the amount that they were spending before, and they're not spending that now. Revenues, the TV deals, they're all kicked in. I mean, they're all baked in. They're going to be swimming in money for the next several years as those are still in place. And also the network was up. Right now we're seeing a lot more people streaming in this COVID environment, and their numbers were up, beyond expectations. So overall, when a lot of businesses are hurting, WWE had a very good quarter.
Yeah, and again, they adjusted how they did things, and they were forced to. But cutting those costs down, running those arenas and the live events is really, really expensive. Specifically, if they were losing money here, as we'd heard, on live events or not making nearly what they used to in the past, you would, then switching to this model for the time being has been very beneficial. I think, again, it makes you just wonder that how quick they jumped the gun on releasing people. Unless they were planning on releasing people and they just looked at, even though that's a horrible, they used that as an excuse just to do something they were going to do anyways, which doesn't look good from that when nobody else did. But, I mean, there's never been a question that the man knows how to make money, for the most part, in wrestling, as far as wrestling goes.
Right.
And he's showing that once again, as far as from a profit standpoint for Vince McMahon.
Yeah. It was, TV ratings were way down this quarter, and we've been bringing up ratings. The worst they've been. And Vince was asked about that, and he basically just dodged the question completely. He was asked why AEW and NXT have kind of rebounded more, which is not actually true. NXT has been doing some of their lower numbers as well in recent weeks. But when asked, Vince just dodged the question. He said, well, they're new, which that makes no sense. Yeah. And that we're going to do what we can to bring in that younger audience. And he was asked about Paul Heyman, that Vince had said in the past that they're working on creating new characters and that it's going to take time. And Paul Heyman had been doing that, why he let Paul go. And Vince just said Paul was very good creatively. I was left it at that. So dodging questions about the ratings, just saying they're going to create compelling storylines and compelling characters, which he's been saying for years.
He's lying to them, yeah.
Yeah,
the problem is, and I saw part of that where he said he's now putting it on. They need to make younger stars. That's his now the scapegoat. Which though he blamed the ratings on having too many new young faces out there before. The problem is this is what I said that has been going on for too many years. He's fucked now as far as making stars, is because he quit creating megastars. So that everybody's gone down, and so the guys that are on top are nowhere near the level of the ones before, and everything reflects that. And so now when you bring up new guys, this is one of the problems I said, like with AEW initially, when they were debuting all these new guys and they only had a few top TV guys from TV, it makes it that much more difficult on creating larger than life characters. People can get over still within that environment, but I'm talking about creating larger than life mega TV stars is what they need, and they lack. They don't have. Cena's not there, and there's nobody to get the rub from him or that anymore. And the guys that they do have are nowhere near that level, in my opinion, based off how the booking has been for so long on that. And then Vince is great at making money for him. He stopped caring about making larger than life superstars because I truly believe it's just to him, and it's just what he told me. It's just all business. It's only about that bottom line, and it doesn't matter if he's neglecting things. And when it saves him trouble with dealing, because how they act and treat talent, and how they are all ass backwards on that. So they don't want talent having an attitude towards them, and the way they control that's by keeping everyone at a certain level, and then they can keep being shitty. And it's just the way that that whole system is in Shawshank, and it's his right to run it that way. But it's really caught up, I think, with everything. And I don't know what he's going to tell those shareholders, whatever he can tell them to get to the next meeting. And I think that it's up to those shareholders. Those people that ask the questions need to have some balls and like come at him harder. They really do. Too many people put him on a pedestal and just, man, you got to fucking like. You know, I would have loved to have been an investor there back when my thing. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing with Ryback? What's his numbers? Why are you doing? Like, people need to do that to him and force him to answer, but they don't because they're marks. I'm telling you, they're sitting there and they're just fucking ask smart questions, and they don't fucking dive in on them. You got to.
There was that one I mentioned, where they were going specifically, asking about the ratings dropping, what they're going to do to fix it, how he's said time and time again. But Vince just knows how to dodge it.
Yeah.
He's like Ali dodging,
No, I saw that too, and he goes, well, that's a lot. And so my thing is, well, let's start, Vince, with this first. Let's address this question first and give us a thorough answer. And if you go, I'm not happy with that, put him, I'm telling you, the guy gets uneasy, really. He becomes unraveled really, really easily when you pressure him. He doesn't like it. And they need to do that to him, and they will see what's actually going on. But it is what it is. He's making money, right? So
it's funny because it seems clear that he knows what the problem is when he's talking about compelling characters and larger than life stars. Do you think it's a case of that he doesn't know how to do that anymore, or he's just hoping that it'll fix himself and he doesn't have to create larger than life stars?
They know exactly what to do. It's not. They're never going to. It's not the system. He only cares about the money he's making, and they don't want to let people get too big. They did away with that. I've told this time and time again. Ryan, we will never have another marquee name ever again. It doesn't get any more direct than that. Telling your top talent at that time that as far as how I was being used and where I was on the card and the level that I was over, that you're not going to allow me any more success or to become any bigger. You're actually going to take it away. We've seen it time and time again. And I'm giving you guys the information from inside the company. Like they know he knows how to do it. It's just, is he going to be forced to again? To survive. He's not hungry anymore. It's like he was. He's already made it. He's had all the success. He's 70-something years old. Like it's just essentially that bottom number, that just the bottom line. What are we bringing in? What are we bringing in? And the problem with that is you're not dealing in a good, where I'm in the supplement industry. What I'm dealing with is not alive. It's not human lives. He's dealing with human lives to fuel his revenue. And there's a lot of issues that come with that. And I've said it before, and this isn't with AEW and Tony Khan, and I hear stories of how he is with the talent. He's a much better leader in 2020 than Vince ever was or will be, because I think he's more in tune with communication than Vince ever was. And I can't say I haven't met him personally, but just from the stories I've heard and knowing how Vince operates, and it's just solely money, which a business again is about making money, but it's a fine line when you're dealing with human lives. So
yeah. Well, WWE, they're making more money per fan than ever before, as opposed to making more fans. But still, I think there was a lot of media this past week, a lot of articles about WWE ratings tanking, how their popularity is not increasing, and even after that positive earnings report, as we're recording this, WWE stock is only at about 45.89, which is the neighborhood in which it's been, at over recently. I mean, it's up slightly. It was like $44 earlier this week. So I think people are starting to see through it as far as the popularity not increasing, but they are still, profitable.
No, it's very, to me, that's a very volatile stock to be in right now with everything. And Vince's age, because, and I'm telling you, the uncertainty of that company and knowing it the way only he does. And Hunter, and from the information that I've been told, that doesn't want to stick around past 65, and that it's going to be who's going to get the company once Vince goes, because we're getting to that point. I feel like Vince, there's going to come a point. I know his mother lived is 100 or whatever, and he's I'm sure is hoping he gets up there, but I think with his steroid use and everything, I don't think it happens. I think that he's around the age where that stuff really it hits you, and I think we've seen the way he's aged. I just don't see it ending well personally with him, and in his history and abuse of those things. And I don't know. We'll see though. But I think that stock is not one that I see it going down before it's going up. And it's not to say that it won't. If a company like Disney or Fox took it over, I think eventually I think they would do a far better job making money than Vince is, actually, if they tried to actually let people create stars. Then again, though, they may make it more WWE than it is even now with everything, and then the way their thing is. So it can go either way, but I don't see it going up anytime soon.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much for watching this clip, and to watch full episodes of the Shooting Blanks Wrestling Report and conversation with the big guy Ryback, subscribe to patreon.com/Ryback for exclusive videos of both shows. And always remember, feed me more.